is just in after 2016, 2017, 2018, and then they started something like this, knowing verily that their Volta region is the stronghold of the NDC. You see, so during the elections, definitely the military will be sent to that place, so that people will feel like will be scared and tempted that, oh, we are not going to vote anymore.
If you say it like that, if you see a military man and you are doing no wrong, why should you feel intimidated?
Well, the thing is that a lot of bad notes have infiltrated into our security service.
Akwa Bashonko about too much GH every day as Nana Ama Owusu enemy na separate training issues abeto jano and amede ebesomo na ebusu for a year openi pa oye lawyer ni IBM no oye socialist at say and send be a fa amansan ho Ghana titu obedi won komo ache na dwen e dia fa o mechire lawyer Morris Ampao or the ensem bi ababonte efa a year Western Togoland militants almost sorry a year last week basically this week and some akoso e will Volta region no what na not to be actually na doing e dia phone now according to him no yeah hintasem bi e wo ho a enunti e nenam so ama sa nipeko no wo mo asori a wo mo etwetua te se etia Ghana se wo pese wo mo so enti wo ho enfi Ghana ho na wo kire mo no say enka wohwe mu pa dia Volta region kofo mo like before no school dia ebi akopa Ghana ha ye de toto obia o Ghana ha ho a womo pa and omako school na no exterior nchen a ebiem so no natural resources I discover e wo mo ho oil na no na se mo say dabi sa oil yi so womo pene na Ghana ye sha say ye tu a sika putro be fi oil no ba no Ghana ha putuduma ye be tira ko obi a so acha mo obi enya bi na no ase kakra bo mo nya de mo pe no e no mo benya ntinka mo ba nyia se womako school no mo nya school mu nimdie no na se aso oil abepie mu e wo o masters so no won beti wo ho na no fa so ne ba no ma mo do madwen no nimdi o manya no enya fa so na ye ho adwuma na te kwa na eko edema na sa adwen we a wo de abeto aponte no te se aspect a whole lot of controversies na ibusa for enkomo de ebi wo ho metwa me ho abasisi ana eko enkomo ni mu
too much GH we boy wate shout out to your fans and everybody who is watching too much GH. Me dey Isaac Odwampo, obetun afem the great ampo mbrembren. Won me nka mo ni hwe too much GH. Too much GH. Mo ye too much. Na me so me ye am fire.
Ebusia form senso mamo akwa babem. Lawyer Morris Ampao nen seminar audit to ja e wo want to meet TV so just say e ho no kwachire na dwen no e wo ntin kofo bi afa no on a political perspective say oh asem we dey akwese odon amayoko we ntin na wo kan say nunti e ho be hia se beto nsa e dey afa obi a ono so nimdie efa politics ho obetimi a kire asem no emu e wo no so ne political view emu na me kan nsa no ene day Mr. Mohammed Mahfouz Bashir ewa hase awo Okanko Central Adrawa Mox branch chairman at say NDC amayuko no mu na wodom na nyuma wakwa Bashirko.
Okay, thank you very much.
Let me welcome you once again.
Okay, thank you very much and pleased to meet you.
I'm pleased to meet you too. Okay, so what's your take on the submission of lawyer Morris Ampao?
Well,
do you agree with him?
I don't agree with him necessarily because if let us look at our point of view from the history of the Western Togoland, how it came into existence.
Yes, true.
After the First World War, the then Western Togoland was under the protectorate of the Germans, and it was split into two. And we now have the Volta region, that is the Western Togoland, and then we have the Togoland that is now present-day Togo.
Okay.
So we have people occupying these two places, and after the place beside, those in the Western Togoland agreed to be
part of
Ghana.
Then Gold Coast.
Yeah. So after the independence, we became a fully fledged country.
Yeah.
So there is no more than Western Togoland. It is just Ghana, and the other side Togo after they gained their independence. So if we are to say that they waited all this long while to educate themselves And then after that, with the assumption that in the near future, when the discovery of oil came into being, they can fight for their secession to be on their own. We might not be doing justice to the other citizens of this country.
Okay.
When you take a look at those in the northern part of Ghana, they are also fully well educated in most facets of this country's existence. When we look at those in the western region, they are also educated, the Fantis and then the rest.
Very true.
So are we going to say that everyone is waiting to discover some resources in their land and then they would call for secession? No. Let's view our point back to 2016, prior to the election 2016 that saw the MPP being victors of that election.
Yeah.
Something like this sprouted. A little mishap, politically motivated thing, so that the votarians feel like, okay, we are not going to vote. It is just part of political tactics now to deviate people from the concepts from voting massively for the NDC in the upcoming 2020
Okay,
election.
so if I understand you very well, you think the submission of lawyer Maurice Ampa is an attempt by the ruling power or the ruling government to divert attention and confuse the votarians and just to leave December 2020 election so they don't vote at all.
Absolutely.
That's how you see it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, that's how I really.
Your submission is really serious.
It's serious. Okay, don't worry. We just move on.
Okay, so this submission, as we have already discussed on, it started right after the ruling government took power. We heard of an old man in the Volta region who had the full history of the plebiscite and how they agreed with signatures that they were going to be part of Ghana for a term of 50 years and later on move to be a country on their own. And considering 2016 to now, I think even in 2016 it was past those 50 years. Why is it that in the time of the NDC, that is the former President John Dramani Mahama, they didn't come out to fight for their own right, to fight to be separated from Ghana? Why is it in this time they are coming out like that?
Well, actually, if they wanted to do something like this in the near future, they would, I think, the national security then would have picked about some informations like this. Definitely, Rome wasn't built in the day. You wouldn't just stand up and say, okay, just out of the blue moon, you want to do something. No. It takes time from time to time for preparation.
True.
And I really believe in the security system of this country to have information about almost every happening in this country. So we cannot just be taken by surprise. Just one day, some people just like that, we want to do something. You see? So I really don't agree with my honorable lawyer for his submission, saying that those people just waited for this time so that when the discovery of certain resources sprouts, they would call for secession so that they will be able to manage their every activity. To look at it, just oil will not be able to do all these things for them. You need to gain international recognition, a whole lot of things. So just on the discovery of oil level would not give you the mandate of being a country on your own. You need to go through certain processes. Even if it has to be, there has to be a dialogue between Ghana and you. But there is nothing like this. In the first place, it's just like violence. They chose the violent approach.
Yes,
just
true.
Take a look at 2 or 3 days ago when they ransacked a whole police station. What are our security system doing? How can a whole police station sit down and be taken by surprise by just few people taking them, and then some people are taking them as hostage? Absolutely, the mind doesn't take this. Yeah.
Okay, according to the NDC, what do you think should be put in place to stop this routing and the secessionist group from going on with their acts?
Well, I think with this one, it's issue of security, and those well versed in the fields of security, our national securities as well, should put their heads down to make a thorough investigation into the matter so as to come out with proactive measures to curb it out. It will be quite wrong for me to say this exactly needs to be done without, because I'm not well versed in the
understand you.
in the field of security.
Okay.
It has to be systematic. Make certain research in those fields. Make inquiries from these people, and then what are the necessary measures that would be very appropriate to apply. We will not just take any rule, anything just for doing its sake to apply. It may work or it may not work. In the situation that it may not work, it might backfire. Just take a look at in our neighboring countries, the Boko Haram.
Yes, sure.
They opted for violent approach at the Boko Haram. When their leader was arrested, some said, "Oh, we should just kill him because since he was found guilty." When he was killed many years ago, about a decade ago, what do we see now about the insurgency of the Boko Haram?
Now it has grown to be. It has been expounded.
Yes. So it needs a thorough investigation into the matter, and after that, the necessary measures will be put in place. And I know, and I trust our security system will do a diligent work on that.
Okay, let's go back to your first submission. You were like the ruling government, as at when they came into power. This is when that was when the fight for independence began. So meaning the violent approach is because of how the ruling government has taken or has approached the situation. Is that what you meant in your first submission?
Let's take a look at prior to the voter registration. We saw a lot of crews being taken to the borderland to protect the so-called people from coming into the country, from registering. Right?
It wasn't just in the voter registration. We learned that it was all in the but it was all on every border in Ghana.
But their actions over there were so severe.
What actions?
The actions of the military and then the security personnel. It was so intense in those areas that there are certain videos alleged circulating with more treatment here and there that our security service later on denied. Well, it is alleged.
Okay.
But let's take a look at their actions over there, and then we, the NDC, what we are saying. Why didn't this thing happen in before 2016 elections? Why didn't these people come out to do all these things?
You didn't suggest a new voters ID day.
We didn't suggest.
Yeah.
But if they had waited for their independence in the coming 4 years, definitely they would have started something. They would have started a movement. How come it is just after 2016, 2017, 2018, and then they started something like this? Knowing verily that their voter region is the stronghold of the NDC. You see, so during the elections, definitely the military will be sent to that place so that people will feel like will be scared and tempted that, oh, we are not going to vote anymore.
If you say it like that, if you see a military man and you are doing no wrong, why should you feel intimidated?
Well, the thing is that a lot of bad notes have infiltrated into our security service.
You stated that you trust the security service.
I trust
in your own submission.
I do
so
trust
how
them.
then? How did the bad nuts infiltrate?
Well, trusting someone, definitely there are bad notes within it. Even though you cannot fully trust, but I trust that they are honorable men within the security service who are going to do a diligent job, and they are definitely the bad ones who are going to be used to victimize people during the 2020 elections. So it is just an attempt to why isn't that those areas, the other areas that the security have been sent prior to the registration, been sent again? They will say that, oh, there is no any cause for alarm in those places except this one. But if our security system are really working, why can't they put their heads on the ground if it is not politically motivated to find out those people who are doing it? All that we hear is that today these people have ransacked the police station, they have burned the STC station. Why can't we find? Is our security system really porous that much that we can't find them? What are we doing? We have a really good security system, but we need to use it. When we use it, definitely, if this thing is not politically motivated, we find out. If it is politically motivated, which I'm very sure, definitely we just leave a blind eye on that because we know the ruling party is on. It is favoring them.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you really sure that the Voltarians are victims to the ruling government? Because the reason why I'm asking you this question is because from records and from reports that we had when we started the registration, soldiers were deported to they were deployed to so many borders around all over Ghana. We had some at Boku, we had some at Elubu, at Aflao. So Elubu, we have floating voters in Elugu. We have NPP members, NDC members there, and none of them brought out complaints that were being harassed.
Except,
I'm coming. None of them brought reports that they were being harassed by the military men. And again, we had some too at Boku. There were no reports, even though there were like few ones that were. It had to do with bad nuts from Boku, but still, then it was not politically tagged. So why is it that, because it's all over, we know that Voltarians are NDC, blood DNA NDC members. So because they are NDC members, just because of that, NPP is the ruling government and they deploy soldiers to their borders, and that just because of that they are being victimized. Do you think it's the right thing for them to say or to feel?
Well, they have every right to feel such a way because when you look at during the registration period, the issues of victimization that popped up, they stopped it all.
Really?
Yes, they stopped it all. You made mention of a level that they didn't. There was no report of victimization. You made mention of Boko and other places. Why is it that the Voltarians are the ones complaining about it?
Don't you think it's because they are politically affiliated to the NDC? That is why they want to make the ruling government feel bad for doing that.
So, would people lie about their situation?
Not really.
Not really. So you see, definitely what one feels would be forced to voice it out.
True.
So the Voltarians feel that they have been victimized by the ruling party, so definitely they'll voice it out.
Okay, we are running up our discussion, but before we end, I just want to know, with what is happening, what does the future look like? Do you think if your party should win power in 2020, the December 7th election, this secessionist group will stop with their routing attitude and all that? Would it come to an end?
Well, I strongly believe in the future of NDC making this country a better place for coexistence for everybody, irrespective of our political affiliations, religion or tribal or orientations. So a future NDC, which I believe will be able to solve all these problems of secessionists and be able to sit down amicably to identify loopholes in the country that may create problem in the future for this country, to avert it. That is being proactive rather than reactive. Okay. If this government had been proactive in the past, I don't think we would have ended up in this place.
Okay.
We should not be reactive. If we have been proactive, we put the necessary measures in place wherever it is, in every corner of this country, okay, in every facet, in everything. So with this, the government is well informed about the happenings in every corner of this country. We will not just be taken by surprise. The voter secessionists were taken by surprise. To be honest with you, we're taken by surprise. So in the case that we are well informed about our nation, definitely there is nothing that is going to happen to us without our knowledge. And before it happens, we might have taken the necessary precautions to avert it. So a future NDC, I know, will be able to solve all the problems, okay, almost all the problems that confront our dear nation Ghana.
Okay, please, your final words before we end.
Well, definitely we are entering into the final moments of the 2020 and then definitely elections would come. But the thing is that we should bear in mind that at all costs, Ghana first. It doesn't matter our religious, political or tribal affiliations. Ghana should stand first.
True.
We should at all costs to ensure that Ghana would still remain even after 2020 election, peacefully as it has always been, and a model of peace in Africa and the world as well.
Na ebusia for ND NDC for one communicator back on IBM so say branch chairman and amino ejetre and Komonokaiko Central na nidin Ede Mohammed Mafuz Mafuz Bashir na yedi esin wonso wakonya se wadwentwe bia efa enkomotwetwe no wode betodwa too much age comment section honom no na ebiem no follow yen your Instagram page at @toomachgh_. Medin Ede na ama ubuzu a nyato na yebesan edin hye mu bi makramu.
Too much GH. We did that say Japan. A break and best TV. Me share too much GH. The move for. Hey, almost sports and as entertainment. Hey, the move for. Munko so show mo. No anybody GDB. Madam, I say love you.
Me did the Isaiah Kojampo. But me family the great tempo. Bring. One man come on here too much GH. Too much GH. Too much. Na me so me I'm more fire.